Discipline is the foundation of success, but it's something that many people struggle with. We all have big dreams and goals, but what separates those who achieve them from those who don't is simple: discipline. You can have the best ideas, the most talented team, or the most perfect plan, but without discipline, it's all just wasted potential. Now you might be asking, how do I develop that kind of discipline? The truth is, it's not about waiting for motivation to show up. It's about forcing yourself to do what needs to be done, even when it's tough, even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up day after day, putting in the work, and committing to your goals without any excuses. In this video, I'm going to challenge you to look at your habits, your choices, and your mindset. I'm going to help you understand how to push through the resistance that stops you from achieving what you want. No more excuses. No more waiting for the perfect moment. It's time to take control of your actions, your discipline, and ultimately your life. If you're tired of making excuses, if you're ready to make progress, this video is for you. Stay with me, because I'm going to show you exactly how to take charge, get disciplined, and stop letting excuses rule your life. It's time to commit to your success and take action. Number 1. Decide today to take full control of life. There comes a point when you have to stop and ask yourself a serious question. Are you running your life? Or is your life running you? Are you steering the ship? Or just letting the waves carry you wherever they please? At some point, you must make a firm and clear decision. You must decide to take full control of your life, no matter how uncomfortable or unfamiliar that feels. You don't need to wait for a new year, a birthday, or a major failure to start. You can make that decision right now. Today, because today is real. Today is where your future starts. And until you decide, life will decide for you. The job will decide your hours. The phone will decide your focus. Other people's expectations will decide your direction. But the moment you decide to take full control, things start to shift. Taking control means you stop blaming things outside of you. You stop pointing fingers at your past, your circumstances, or your surroundings. You begin to take ownership. If something is wrong, you face it. If something is holding you back, you fix it. And if you want something more, you go get it. That's the mindset of someone who's serious about growth. You can't build a strong life with weak decisions. An indecision is just another way of handing over your power. The people who lead disciplined lives don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait for the right mood. They decide once and then act daily. Their strength doesn't come from luck. It comes from clarity and consistency. Now let's talk about what it means to really take control. First, it means being brutally honest with yourself. What are you allowing? What are you tolerating? What have you ignored for too long? You can't fix what you're not willing to face. So if your habits are working against you, call it out. If you've been waiting instead of working, admit it. If you've been lazy with your time, take a hard look. You can't lead yourself unless you're honest with yourself. Next, you have to know where you're going. You don't need a 5-year blueprint, but you do need direction. A life without direction will always fall into distraction. It's easy to waste time when you have no target. So take time to think, what do you really want? What kind of person do you want to become? What values will you live by, no matter what? Write these things down. Don't leave it floating around in your head. Put it in writing. Commit to it. That's how control begins, by getting clear. After that, it's time to take control of your time. Time is the currency of your life. You trade it every day for something. The question is, are you trading it for things that matter? Because once it's spent, you don't get it back. You don't need to fill every second, but you do need to use it wisely. Set priorities. Block time for what builds you. Limit time for what drains you. It's not about being busy. It's about being intentional. Control also means setting standards. What will you accept from yourself? What will you no longer tolerate? If you don't define your standards, your environment will define them for you. Weak standards create a weak life. Strong standards create momentum. Start small. Choose a few key behaviors that reflect the person you want to be, and practice them daily. Not occasionally. Not when it's convenient. Daily. Understand this. The world won't stop to hand you discipline. It won't clear the way for your goals. It will offer distractions, doubts, and easy exits. That's why control must come from the inside, from your decision, from your standards, from your values, from your vision, and from your willingness to do the hard things, even when no one is watching. And don't confuse control with pressure. Taking control of your life doesn't mean you carry a heavy burden every moment. It means you stop being passive. You stop coasting. You stop letting days slip by without meaning. You step into your life with both feet and say, "This is my path, and I will walk it with intention." A lot of people are living on autopilot. They wake up without purpose. They do things out of habit, not out of thought. They respond instead of lead. And they wonder why they feel stuck. If you want to rise above that, you need to wake up to your own power. You need to shake yourself out of sleep and start making decisions that line up with the life you want to live. And yes, it's going to require sacrifice. You will have to give up things that waste your time. You will have to say no when others expect yes. You will have to rise early, stay focused, and take consistent action. That's not always comfortable, but you know what's more uncomfortable? Regret. Waking up one day and realizing you've spent years avoiding responsibility and nothing truly changed. Taking control also means accepting failure when it comes. Not hiding from it, not blaming others, but using it. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, what did I do? What can I learn? What will I do differently? Every failure carries feedback, but you only hear it when you take ownership. When you make this decision to take full control, you start to trust yourself. That trust builds confidence. That confidence fuels momentum, and that momentum turns into discipline. And that's how lives change. Not through one big moment, but through hundreds of small decisions rooted in ownership and effort. You won't get it perfect, but you don't need perfect. You need consistent. You need honest. You need intentional. You need to wake up each day and remind yourself, this is my life, not my neighbor's. Not my boss's. Mine. I'm in charge. I decide what I chase. I decide what I allow. I decide what I believe, and how I show up. The decision to take control isn't loud. It's not for attention. It's quiet. It's steady. It's real. And once you make it, you'll never want to go back. You'll start thinking more clearly. You'll act with more purpose. You'll live with more energy. Not because things are easier, but because now you're leading the way. So don't wait. Don't talk about it. Don't wish for it. Decide today. Decide right now. And from this moment on, walk through life like someone who owns it. Not with arrogance, but with discipline. Not with pressure, but with purpose. You've got one life. Make sure it's lived on your terms. Because when you take full control, everything else starts to rise with it. Number 2, wake up early and take charge of your day. Waking up early is not just a habit, it's a decision to lead. It's a daily declaration that you are in control. The way you begin your morning determines how you show up for the rest of your day. If you want to build a strong and disciplined life, start by claiming the first hour of your day as your own. Too many people roll out of bed because they have to, not because they choose to. They wake up when the alarm has already gone off 3 times. They wake up with dread instead of direction. And when that becomes normal, the entire day feels rushed, unplanned, and scattered. But you can change that. You can decide that your mornings belong to you, not your phone, not your job, not your distractions. When you wake up early, you get something most people never give themselves: space to think, space to breathe, space to prepare for the day instead of reacting to it. It gives you time to decide who you want to be before the world starts pulling you in different directions. And when you make this part of your daily rhythm, your energy shifts, your mindset sharpens, your confidence grows. You don't need to wake up at 4 in the morning. This isn't about extremes. It's about intention. If you normally wake up at 8, start waking up at 7. Get up before the noise starts, before the traffic kicks in, before emails, texts, and meetings fill your mind. Use that time to build yourself before the world places demands on you. Use your early hours to set your tone. Think about your goals. Review your plans. Write out your top priorities. Move your body. Breathe deeply. Read something that sharpens your thinking. Reflect on what kind of energy you want to carry into your day. This is where mental strength is built, by doing what most people ignore. And don't just wake up early and waste it scrolling through distractions. Don't roll over and give your mind away to everyone else's agenda. Use that time like it's gold, because it is. You are setting the emotional tone for everything that comes after. A chaotic morning often leads to a chaotic day, but a calm and clear start builds momentum. When you take control of your morning, you are not just managing time, you're building character. You're telling yourself, I'm not here to coast. I'm here to build. I'm here to grow. I'm here to make something meaningful of my life. And that starts before the world is awake. If you want to get serious about your dreams, then don't hit snooze on your life. Those extra minutes of sleep come at the cost of progress. It's not about being busy. It's about showing yourself that your time is worth something. The early hours are yours. They are untouched by chaos. They are yours to use for clarity, for focus, for self-respect. Every time you get up early, you are sending yourself a message. You are saying, I matter. My goals matter. My time matters. And that message sticks. It builds a habit, and habits shape destiny. People who wake up with intention walk differently through the world. They are not rushed. They are not scrambling. They are centered. They are prepared. They make better decisions. They think more clearly. And it's not because they are lucky. It's because they showed up for themselves before the world came knocking. And yes, it will be hard in the beginning. Your body will resist. Your mind will bargain. It will tell you that 5 more minutes won't hurt. But those 5 minutes add up. That choice, repeated over and over, creates your identity. Are you someone who leads your day, or someone who lets the day lead you? Discipline is built one choice at a time, one early morning at a time. And once it becomes your standard, it becomes easier. It becomes normal. You begin to crave that time. You begin to depend on it, because you'll see how much more grounded you feel, how much more prepared you are, how much more control you have. And don't use the excuse that you're not a morning person. That's just a story you've told yourself. You can write a new one. You can train your body and mind to adjust. Your future does not care about your preferences. It cares about your discipline. And your discipline starts with how you begin your day. If your day starts in a rush, your mind stays on edge. If it begins with stillness and structure, you carry that calm into your decisions. Waking up early is about more than time. It's about intention. It's about claiming responsibility. It's about moving through the day like someone with purpose, not someone just trying to get through it. And when you make this change, it ripples through the rest of your life. You start showing up on time. You start planning better. You stop forgetting the little things. You start treating your day with respect. Because when you respect your time, you respect yourself. Start small if you need to. Go to bed a little earlier. Move your alarm across the room. Plan your morning the night before so you know what you're waking up for. Give yourself a reason to rise. And don't just rise physically, rise mentally. Rise with clarity. Rise with strength. Rise with the mindset of someone who is done making excuses. This isn't about perfection. It's about ownership. It's about refusing to drift. It's about choosing your path instead of reacting to circumstances. You can't change the world overnight, but you can change how you show up in it. And how you show up begins with when you wake up and how you use that time. You don't need more time. You need to use the time you already have with more discipline. And the first step is simple. Get up early and take control. Not just once. Not just when you feel like it. Make it your new standard. Make it part of who you are. Waking up early is not about sacrificing comfort. It's about building strength. It's about creating space to think, plan, grow, and lead. Because your future depends on what you do today. And your day begins the moment you open your eyes. So tomorrow morning when the alarm goes off, don't hesitate. Don't delay. Get up, stand tall, take a breath, and take full charge of your day. Because no one else is going to do it for you. This is your time. Use it well. Number 3. Eliminate distractions and focus on your goals. Distractions are everywhere today. They come in fast, they steal attention, they interrupt progress. If you don't get serious about eliminating them, they will take over. They will rob you of your goals. You won't even notice it at first. One click, one scroll, one reply, then another. Suddenly, the day is gone, and nothing important got done. That's the truth. And if you want to get disciplined, if you truly want to build something meaningful with your life, then you need to decide today that distractions don't belong in your space. Discipline doesn't just mean working hard, it means working smart. And that begins by knowing what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Most people are not lazy, they're distracted, they think they're busy, but they're not productive. They confuse motion with progress, they feel tired, but they haven't made any real steps toward their goals. Why? Because they allowed distraction to win. They opened the door to everything that doesn't matter. It's not just about your phone or your notifications, it's your environment. It's your habits. It's the conversations you choose. It's how often you shift from what matters to what's easier. Every time you get pulled away from your task, it costs you mental energy, and it takes longer than you think to get back on track. If that keeps happening every hour, you lose days, you lose weeks, you lose momentum. You need to draw a clear line between what moves you forward and what slows you down. Make that line strong and defend it, because your future is at stake. Your potential is on the line. Your focus is not a joke. It's not optional. It's your weapon. It's your edge. And if you don't protect it, the world will take it from you. Start by identifying your biggest distractions. Be honest about them. Don't deny it. If it's your phone, put it away. If it's noise, find quiet. If it's toxic people, create distance. You don't need to announce it to anyone. You need to do it for yourself, because when you eliminate distractions, you give yourself permission to fully show up for what matters. Focusing on your goals requires structure. You can't just rely on motivation. You need to build a system, a routine that limits temptation, a schedule that makes room for progress. You need boundaries. Clear start and end times, blocks of time where nothing else gets in, and during those blocks, you give your full effort. No switching, no checking, just complete presence. You don't need to respond to everything right away. Not every message is urgent. Not every alert is important. Most things can wait. Your goals cannot. The work you put off today adds pressure to tomorrow, and over time that delay becomes stress. You begin to feel overwhelmed because you never made the time to focus. That cycle has to stop, and you stop it by choosing what matters now, not later. Your ability to concentrate is like a muscle. If you never train it, it stays weak. But if you practice every day, it grows stronger. Start small. Set a timer. Work on one task, then increase it. Build your endurance. Train your brain to stay with the work. Don't expect perfection. Expect effort. Real focus comes from doing the hard thing even when it's easier to check out. Make your goals visible. Write them down. Put them where you can see them every day. Remind yourself why you're doing this. When the temptation to scroll hits, look at your goal instead. When your mind starts to wander, bring it back. Again and again, that's how discipline is formed. It's not one decision. It's 100 decisions every single day. And when you eliminate distractions, something powerful happens. You begin to move faster. You feel lighter. You think clearer. You start checking things off. Your confidence grows. And the best part is, you see real progress. Not just effort, results. That progress keeps you going. It gives you fuel. It reminds you that your time is valuable, and you're using it well. Look at your environment right now. Is it helping you or hurting you? Is your space clean? Is it set up for focus? Or is it filled with clutter, noise, and reminders of everything except your goals? Fix it. Clear your desk. Close the tabs. Turn off the noise. You don't need more tools. You need fewer distractions. Be ruthless about your focus. Not because it's easy, but because your life depends on it. Your family depends on it. Your future depends on it. Every time you resist a distraction, you're building mental strength. You're proving to yourself that you can lead your own mind. That's where real power begins. Don't wait until you feel like focusing. That moment may never come. Create the conditions. Show up even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. That's what separates the driven from the distracted. The committed from the comfortable. The disciplined from the drifting. No one is coming to remove your distractions for you. It's your job. No one else can train your focus. That's on you. You have to want it badly enough to shut everything else out. And that takes honesty. It takes action. It takes repeating the right behavior every day until it becomes second nature. And when it becomes who you are, you'll notice the shift. You'll finish more. You'll stress less. You'll feel proud of how you're using your time. That kind of pride doesn't come from scrolling or multitasking. It comes from clarity, from doing the hard work, from giving your goals your full attention. The world is filled with noise. Most of it is meaningless. You don't have to absorb it all. You can choose silence. You can choose focus. You can choose progress. And that choice, made over and over again, shapes your path. So decide now. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Today. Eliminate the distractions that are stealing your future. Set clear goals. Focus like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. You get one shot at this life. One chance to rise. One opportunity to leave something behind that matters. Don't waste it on what doesn't. This is the moment to make a change. Cut the noise. Drop the habits that pull you away. Build the habits that pull you forward. Because once you lock in, nothing can stop you. Not boredom. Not fear. Not temptation. Only you. So train your mind. Control your space. Guard your time. Focus on your goals. With everything you've got. That is discipline. That is power. That is how real change begins. Number 4. Push yourself to follow through every single time. Following through is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Ideas are everywhere. Everyone has goals. Everyone has plans. But most people stop halfway. They start strong, but they don't finish. They get excited in the beginning, but that excitement fades. What's left is the work, and most people avoid it. If you want to build something lasting, you must push yourself to follow through every single time. No matter what, discipline is not measured by how well you begin. It's proven by what you finish. There's a certain strength that develops inside of you when you do what you said you would do, even when it's boring, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one's watching. That's where character lives. That's where confidence is built. That's how a weak will becomes unshakable. You will not feel motivated every day. Some mornings you'll want to quit. Some nights you'll question if it's worth it. That's normal. But you don't base your actions on your feelings. You base them on your values. You move forward because that's who you've decided to be. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. That's what matters more than talent, more than speed, more than anything else. Following through builds trust. First with yourself, then with the people around you. If you say you'll show up, show up. If you say you'll finish, finish. If you said you'd get it done, then stay with it until it's done. The more often you keep that promise to yourself, the stronger you become. The more often you break it, the harder it is to believe in yourself. Most people start over again and again because they never build that inner trust. They jump from one plan to the next, hoping the next one will be easier. But there's no plan that works without follow-through. No strategy matters if you only do it halfway. You need to see it through. Not once, not sometimes, but every single time. It's not about intensity. It's about endurance. It's about getting up every day and choosing the same goal, choosing the same effort, choosing the same action, even when it gets tough, even when it's not exciting anymore. If you keep showing up, you will grow, you will get stronger, and you will achieve more than most people ever will. Following through teaches you something valuable. It shows you that you are in control. Not your moods, not your past, not your doubts. You are. And when you live that way, there's a calm power that enters your life. You're not scattered. You're focused. You're not reactive. You're intentional. You don't chase motivation. You make progress. Start with the small things. If you say you'll wake up at a certain time, do it. If you plan to exercise today, follow through. If there's a task you set for yourself, finish it before you move to something else. These little wins create momentum. They shape your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who finishes what they start, and that belief will change your life. Don't let temporary emotions dictate permanent results. Just because you're tired doesn't mean you stop. Just because it's hard doesn't mean you pause. Just because you don't feel like it doesn't mean you wait. There's power in pushing through. There's a kind of pride that comes from doing what's difficult, especially when you didn't want to do it. This isn't about being perfect. There will be times when you fall short, times when you miss the mark. That's not failure. Failure is quitting. Failure is giving up because it got uncomfortable. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort. So does confidence. So does strength. You won't find them in the easy moments. You earn them when you stay in the hard ones. If you want to be the kind of person others can count on, start by being someone you can count on. Every time you follow through, you prove to yourself that you're dependable. You prove to yourself that your words have weight, that your plans have meaning, that your time has purpose. Don't wait for perfect timing. Don't expect ideal conditions. They rarely show up. You start with what you have. You work with where you are. You give what you can. And you keep going until it's done. That mindset alone can separate you from 90% of people who never follow through. If something matters to you, treat it like it matters. Prioritize it. Make space for it. Respect it. Don't put it off. Don't push it aside. Do the work. That action done again and again turns goals into reality. It turns discipline into a way of life. And it turns ordinary people into high achievers. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to have all the resources. You don't need a perfect plan. What you do need is the habit of follow through. Without that, everything else fades. With it, almost anything becomes possible. You build your future one decision at a time, one task at a time, one action at a time. Every time you finish what you start, you take a step forward. It might not feel like much, but over time it adds up. That kind of consistency compounds. It leads to breakthroughs. It builds success from the ground up. People will notice. Not because you're loud about it, but because you're reliable. You'll start to stand out. You'll earn respect. And more importantly, you'll respect yourself. That self-respect is worth more than praise, because it comes from within. It can't be taken. It's built through discipline, day after day. Make a decision today. From now on, you finish what you start. You don't stop halfway. You don't back out. You don't wait until things feel easy. You finish every single time. That's not pressure. That's power. That's freedom. That's how you take control of your life. So the next time you're tempted to skip the hard part, remind yourself of who you're becoming. Remind yourself that strong people finish. Disciplined people stay the course. Leaders push through discomfort. And that's who you are. Not someone who gives up. Not someone who delays. But someone who follows through. Every time. No excuses. Number 5. Write down your goals and chase them daily. If something matters to you, write it down. Don't just think about it. Don't just talk about it. Put it on paper. That's how serious people treat their goals. That's how achievers stay focused. A goal that lives only in your mind is weak. It can get lost in distractions. It can get buried under excuses. But a goal that's written down in clear words becomes a promise. It becomes a statement of purpose. And when you look at it every day, you remember exactly why you're working so hard. Writing your goals is an act of clarity. It forces you to be honest about what you want. It helps you stop drifting. It cuts through confusion. When people are unclear, they hesitate. They waste time. But when the goal is in front of you, it becomes your direction. It tells you where to put your energy. It shapes your choices. It makes your time count. Start simple. Grab a notebook. Write down exactly what you want. Be specific. Don't say, I want to be successful. Say, I want to earn this much by this date, doing this kind of work. Don't say, I want to be fit. Say, I want to weigh this much, eat this way, and train 5 times a week. Clear goals get results. Vague ones only bring frustration. Once it's written, look at it every single morning. Remind yourself before the day begins. Read it again before you go to bed. Let it sink into your thinking. Let it shape the way you use your hours. This is how you build focus. This is how you stay grounded when life gets chaotic. When everything around you pulls at your attention, your goal pulls you back. Goals are not about pressure. They're about direction. Most people wake up and just react to the day. They check their phone. They answer messages. They do what others ask of them. But you can't live that way and expect to grow. You must lead your day, and that starts by chasing something you've decided matters to you. You don't need to write 50 goals. Just choose a few that mean something to you. Goals that excite you. Goals that challenge you. Goals that make you better. Then break them down. What can you do today to get closer? What action can you take now? Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Use what you have. Start where you are. Do something every day. Discipline is built through daily movement. It's not a one-time decision. It's a habit. And that habit is much easier to build when your goal is staring you in the face. When you see it written out, when you remind yourself of what matters, it becomes harder to waste time. It becomes easier to act with purpose. People who don't write goals drift. They spend weeks doing busy work that doesn't matter. They confuse effort with direction, and they wonder why they feel stuck. But people who write goals and chase them daily, they move. They build, they learn. Even when the steps are small, they add up. Over time, they create something powerful. You don't need to announce your goals to the world. Just commit to them privately. Let your results speak. Let your consistency become the evidence. The goal isn't to impress others. It's to build a life you're proud of. It's to live on your terms. That doesn't come from luck. It comes from deliberate daily effort. There will be days when it feels boring. Days when it feels slow. Days when you don't feel like chasing anything. That's where most people quit. They think the goal should always excite them, but real growth doesn't work that way. Some days it's just about showing up, doing the work, pushing through. That's why writing your goal matters. Because on those hard days you'll have something to return to. Something that reminds you of your deeper reasons. You're not just chasing success. You're chasing freedom, self-respect, strength, progress. That's what keeps you going. Write your goals in your own words. Make them yours. Don't copy someone else's vision. Don't chase something just because it's popular. That leads to burnout. That leads to regret. Choose goals that connect to your values, your vision, your definition of a good life. When the goal is personal, your effort becomes real. Track your progress. Don't just chase the goal blindly. Reflect on your actions. Ask yourself what worked today, what needs to improve tomorrow. This habit of reviewing keeps you sharp. It stops you from repeating mistakes. It helps you learn faster. And it builds momentum. If you miss a day, don't panic. Don't quit. Just get back to it. One missed day won't ruin you, but giving up will. The people who win in life are not the ones who never stumble. They're the ones who keep going after every fall. Writing down your goal again after a bad day is how you stay in the game. Every great achievement started as a simple written goal. Every successful person began by deciding what they wanted and writing it down. Then they chased it daily, without skipping, without letting distractions win. That's the formula. It's not fancy. It's not hidden. It's just rare. So if you want more for your life, don't wait for it to happen. Create it. Put it in writing. Then chase it with everything you've got. If it matters, act like it matters. Stop saying someday. Start acting today. Write it. Rate it. Move toward it. That's how disciplined people live. That's how dreams turn into reality. That's how change begins. No excuses. Only action. Number 6. Refuse comfort and choose consistent hard action. Comfort is tempting. It whispers to you. It tells you to take it easy. It tells you that tomorrow will be just fine. But comfort, when chosen too often, becomes a trap. And if you're not careful, it will steal years from you. It looks peaceful on the surface, but underneath, it's where goals fade, where potential dies, where regret is born. If you want to live strong, if you want to create a life that feels right to you, you must learn to say no to comfort and yes to hard action right now. Every time you choose the harder road, you grow, not just physically, not just in results, but mentally. You strengthen the part of you that wants more out of life. You feed your hunger. You develop grit. This is how people change their lives, not by waiting for motivation, not by waiting for the right time, but by acting when it's hard and pushing when it's uncomfortable. Most people wait. They wait for energy. They wait for a perfect day. They wait until they feel like doing it. That wait becomes a habit. A day turns into a week, then into a month, and suddenly the year is gone. You can't afford to live that way. You can't afford to hand your life over to comfort. If you want change, you must act. And not just once, not just when it feels exciting. You need to act consistently. Every day, consistent hard action means doing what needs to be done, even when you'd rather do anything else. It means waking up and facing your tasks head on. It means working through resistance. And here's the truth. It won't always feel good. It won't always feel rewarding right away, but the reward comes later, in the results, in the discipline, in the confidence you build by doing what others won't. Nobody stumbles into discipline. Nobody builds a strong life by accident. It's built by people who refuse to take the easy path. It's built by people who ask more from themselves. They don't chase comfort. They chase progress. They're not driven by how they feel in the moment. They're driven by who they want to become. Comfort may give you a few moments of ease, but it steals your future. That's the trade. You skip the workout, and you lose the strength. You ignore the work, and you lose the opportunity. You relax too often, and the discipline fades. That's the pattern. But the good news is, the opposite is also true. When you act with intensity, when you choose the hard way, when you stay consistent, you grow, you get sharper, you gain power. You must decide what you want more, comfort or change, ease or achievement, rest or results. You can't have both at the same time. The greats didn't get where they are by choosing what was easy. They got there by building the habit of showing up every day and doing the work. Whether it was exciting or not, whether they felt like it or not, you will be tired, you will be challenged, you will doubt yourself at times. But none of that matters if you keep showing up. The results are in the follow-through. The wins come from the consistent grind. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to get it all right. You just need to show up and push forward, one day at a time. And yes, comfort will try to pull you back. It always does. The bed will feel warm. The couch will look inviting. The distractions will seem harmless. But you must remind yourself what's at stake. Your goals, your freedom, your future. That's what you're fighting for. That's why you must choose the harder option. That's why your decisions must come from purpose, not mood. There's power in becoming someone who acts without delay. Someone who doesn't wait for things to feel perfect. Someone who moves now. Because once you start acting consistently, your life starts to shift. You begin to trust yourself more. You stop needing others to push you. You become your own source of strength. That's how leaders are made. That's how discipline is built. This is about self-respect. When you choose hard action over comfort, you're proving to yourself that your future matters. You're proving that your goals are more than talk. You're backing up your words with behavior. And that's what separates people who wish from people who do. Most people talk about change. Few live it. The hard work may not be visible right away. The results may come slowly. But they come. Every rep, every page, every hour spent in focused action. It all adds up. It shapes your body, your mind, your habits, your outcomes. Over time it changes everything. And the best part, you start to crave it. You stop fearing the hard work. You begin to chase it. Because you've tasted what it's like to progress. You've felt the power of daily action. You've seen what happens when you stop making excuses. That feeling of progress, of control, of strength. It becomes your fuel. Comfort will never give you that. It will only take. It takes your energy. It takes your dreams. It takes your edge. It takes your momentum. And in return it gives you guilt, doubt, insecurity. That's not a fair trade. That's not how you want to live. So the decision is yours. Refuse comfort. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Choose hard action. Consistently. Not once in a while. Not when it's convenient. But every single day. Your life will thank you. Your future will reward you. And deep down you'll know. You gave everything you had. You chose growth. You chose discipline. You chose to be better. That's what winners do. That's how strong lives are built. And it starts today. Not with talk. Not with plans. But with real, hard, focused action. Number 7. Stand up and do what needs to be done. Most people know what they need to do. They know the steps. They know the changes. They know the habits that would move their life forward. But too many sit still. Waiting for permission. Waiting for clarity. Waiting for the perfect moment. The truth is, life does not pause for you. It does not slow down while you hesitate. If you want change, if you want to build something that lasts, then you must stand up and do what needs to be done. This is about ownership. This is about personal responsibility. Every time you delay, every time you avoid action, you hand your power away. You give your time, your progress, your potential to fear or comfort or distraction. That's not how strong people operate. Strong people don't run from hard things. They step up and face them. They know that no matter how uncomfortable or uncertain a task is, the only way to grow is to move. When you wake up in the morning, you have a choice. You can avoid the work, or you can confront it. You can drift, or you can decide to move forward. That choice shows up every day. And the more you choose to act, the stronger you become. It doesn't matter if it's small. It doesn't matter if no one sees it. What matters is that you move, and you keep moving. Because nothing happens until you do. You've got responsibilities. You've got goals. You've got a vision for your life. But that vision will only stay a dream unless you're willing to do what others avoid. That's where character is built. In the moments when you don't feel like it, but you still stand up and handle it. It's not about excitement. It's about commitment. You can't keep waiting for things to feel right. Most of what's necessary won't feel good at first. It will test you. It will stretch you. That's the whole point. That's how discipline is formed. Through repetition, through action, through showing up when it's difficult. You don't need to feel ready. You need to be willing. You need to rise each day and take responsibility for your time, your effort, and your energy. If something needs to be done, do it. Don't pass it off. Don't postpone it. Face it head on. That's what separates the driven from the average. The driven don't wait to be pushed. They push themselves. Look around at the results in your life. They're a reflection of what you've chosen to act on and what you've chosen to ignore. That's not something to feel guilty about. It's something to learn from. If you want better, you must start doing better. The change starts with action. Not thought, not hope, but action. When you stand up and take control of your tasks, you send a message to yourself. You say, I'm in charge. I don't hide. I don't shrink. I rise. That changes how you see yourself. That builds confidence. Because nothing builds belief like doing what needs to be done, even when it's tough. Some days you'll feel tired. Some days you'll want to quit. But quitting doesn't bring you peace. It brings you more doubt, more frustration, more disappointment. Discipline might be hard, but regret is always harder. So when you feel like giving in, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the life you're working to create. Standing up means taking initiative. It means seeing something that needs attention and handling it. It means taking care of your health, your finances, your commitments, not just when it's easy, but always. It's about building a reputation with yourself. When you say you'll do something, you follow through. No excuses, no delays. The world doesn't owe you anything. No one is coming to save you. That may sound harsh, but it's true. And once you accept the truth, you become unstoppable. Because now everything is in your hands. You can shape your day. You can shape your habits. You can shape your outcomes. That power is earned when you stop waiting and start working. It's not about intensity for one day. It's about steady, reliable action every day, one step at a time, one task at a time. You handle what's in front of you. You don't look for shortcuts. You don't rely on motivation. You simply do the work that's required, and you do it with pride. When you do what needs to be done, you sleep better. You walk taller. You carry yourself differently, because you know you're not hiding from your responsibilities. You're handling them. That peace you get from that. It can't be bought. It can't be faked. It's earned through consistent effort. And here's something important. Nobody can do this for you. Others can support you. They can encourage you, but they can't take your place. This is your life. These are your goals. These are your actions to take. If something's not right, fix it. If something's missing, go find it. If you've been waiting, stop. There is no perfect time. There is only now. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to make a show of your work. Just be solid. Be reliable. Be someone who shows up, handles business, and doesn't make excuses. Quiet consistency will take you further than loud intentions ever will. Some people are waiting for everything to fall into place before they act. You're not one of them. You're someone who creates structure by taking control. You don't get stuck in worry. You take the next step. You don't drown in options. You pick a direction and move. That's how progress is made. Not through theory, not through planning forever, but through action. So stand up, do the thing, make the call, go to the gym, write the page, finish the work, face what you've been putting off, tackle the hard stuff. That's where the breakthrough lives. On the other side of effort, the time you spend hesitating is time you can never get back. And when you really understand how valuable your time is, you won't waste another minute. You'll get up, you'll move, you'll act. Because every minute counts, every step counts, every action moves you closer to becoming who you're capable of being. And that's what this is all about. Becoming that version of yourself that doesn't run, doesn't wait, and doesn't compromise. A version of yourself that stands up, does the work, and takes full control. That's how you win. That's how you grow. That's how you take life into your hands and make something meaningful out of it. Starting today. Starting now. Number 8. Break laziness with strong daily personal standards. Laziness is a thief. It steals your time, your energy, and your potential. It convinces you that rest is more important than progress, that comfort is more valuable than action. But what laziness doesn't tell you is that the longer you let it control you, the more it eats away at your future. Every day you allow laziness to win, you push your dreams further away. You push your goals further away. You push the life you deserve further away. If you want to break free from this cycle, you need to build strong personal standards. These standards will become your shield against the pull of laziness and complacency. When you set personal standards, you are creating a code for your life. It's the set of principles that guides you in every decision. Your standards become the foundation for your actions, the benchmarks that help you determine what you are willing to accept in your life and what you refuse to tolerate. Without strong personal standards, life becomes a series of random choices with no consistency or direction. And that's where laziness flourishes, when there's no structure, no discipline, no non-negotiables. But once you establish personal standards, everything changes. You become a person of commitment, a person of action, and a person who values progress. The first step is to decide what kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be someone who makes excuses, who drifts through life? Or do you want to be someone who takes charge, who gets things done, and who moves forward no matter the obstacle? Strong personal standards are not about being perfect, but about being consistent. They're not about being rigid, but about being committed. They're not about feeling motivated every day, but about doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. It's about showing up for yourself and your dreams, even on the days when it feels hard or uncomfortable. Breaking laziness starts with your mindset. It starts with how you see yourself and how you see your time. If you don't value your time, laziness will take over. If you don't respect your goals, laziness will pull you away from them. If you don't have the discipline to push yourself when you're not feeling it, laziness will win. But when you hold yourself to a higher standard, laziness can't touch you. Set a clear vision for your life. You cannot break laziness without knowing what you're working toward. What are your goals? What are your dreams? How do you want to feel in the future? What kind of person do you want to be? Write down your goals, visualize them every day, and remind yourself of them constantly. This vision will fuel you when the pull of laziness starts to feel strong. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, laziness will lose its power over you. Next, create non-negotiable standards for your daily actions. Your standards should be the framework that you live by every day. This is where you draw the line and refuse to let laziness cross over. For example, decide that you will wake up early every day. Decide that you will work toward your goals every single day, even if it's just a small step. Choose to eliminate distractions from your day, such as unnecessary time on your phone or watching TV for hours. These are the things that break your focus and allow laziness to creep in. When you set the standard that your time is precious and you won't waste it, you'll have the strength to resist the urge to drift. Strong daily standards also include your physical health. A healthy body supports a strong mind. When you take care of your body, you increase your energy and focus. You feel better, which means you're more likely to take action. Make it a standard to exercise regularly. Make it a standard to eat nutritious foods that fuel you, rather than those that drain you. When your body feels strong, your mind follows. Laziness has less of a grip on you when your energy is high and your health is a priority. Creating strong personal standards also means you're setting boundaries. Boundaries protect your time and energy. It's easy to fall into the trap of doing everything for everyone else. But if you don't protect your time, you won't have any left for your own goals. Learn to say no. Say no to distractions. Say no to people who drain your energy. Say no to situations that don't align with your goals. Saying no isn't about being selfish. It's about being responsible with your time. When you create boundaries, you guard your focus and your energy, making it easier to stay disciplined and avoid laziness. Another key aspect of breaking laziness with strong personal standards is accountability. When you hold yourself accountable, you make it harder for laziness to take hold. It's easy to make excuses when no one is watching. But when you have a plan in place and you commit to it, you increase your chances of success. Find someone who can hold you accountable. It could be a friend, a mentor, or even a coach. Sharing your goals with someone else makes them more real. It forces you to be responsible and shows you that you can't hide from your actions. Consistency is the key to breaking laziness. One of the reasons people fall into the trap of laziness is because they stop being consistent. They start something, get excited about it for a few days, and then stop. The momentum fades. The discipline fades. And before they know it, they've fallen back into old habits. To truly break laziness, you must commit to consistency. Even when you don't feel like it, even when it seems hard, even when you'd rather rest, show up. Do the work, follow through. Keep pushing. Track your progress. One of the most powerful ways to break laziness is to see how far you've come. When you see progress, it motivates you to keep going. Keep a journal. Make a checklist. Use a habit tracker. Whatever it takes, keep track of what you've accomplished. Celebrate the small victories. And don't let yourself get discouraged by setbacks. Remember, success isn't linear. It's full of ups and downs. But if you stay consistent and keep pushing, you will see the results. Finally, break laziness by continually raising your standards. Don't settle for the bare minimum. Don't allow yourself to get comfortable with mediocrity. Challenge yourself to do better. Each day, ask yourself, how can I improve? Push yourself to be better than yesterday. The more you challenge yourself, the stronger your standards become, and the less likely laziness will be able to take root. Breaking laziness isn't about having perfect days. It's about building habits, taking consistent action, and refusing to let laziness win. When you set strong personal standards, you become the person who does what needs to be done. No excuses. You refuse to settle for less, and you stop allowing laziness to control you. You take ownership of your time, your actions, and your future. And through that, you create a life that reflects the person you've decided to be. A person who is disciplined, focused, and unstoppable. Number 9. Train your mind to reject every weak excuse. Excuses are easy to make, aren't they? We all know them. We've all used them. I'm too tired. I don't have time. It's not the right moment. I'll do it tomorrow. Excuses are the voice of your inner resistance. The voice that wants to keep you in your comfort zone. The voice that wants to protect you from failure. And most importantly, the voice that wants to stop you from growing. But you are not a person who listens to excuses. You are a person who moves forward, no matter what. If you want to break free from the grip of excuses, you must train your mind to reject them, to see them for what they really are. Barriers to your success, your dreams, and your progress. The first step in training your mind to reject excuses is realizing how dangerous they are. Excuses sound comforting. They sound logical, but they're lies, designed to keep you stagnant, to keep you stuck where you are. When you make an excuse, you're saying, "This is why I can't do it today." But what you're really doing is giving away your power. You're letting the moment control you instead of you controlling the moment. You're allowing the circumstances to dictate your actions, instead of deciding to take action regardless of the circumstances. Understand this: excuses don't solve problems. They create them. When you tell yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," you're just postponing the inevitable. The task you're avoiding doesn't disappear. It only grows bigger and harder to face. The longer you allow excuses to control your behavior, the more you build a habit of inaction. And inaction leads to stagnation. It leads to frustration. It leads to a life of what-ifs and missed opportunities. So how do you train your mind to reject excuses? The answer is simple, though not always easy. You must become aware of the excuses when they arise. You must identify them for what they are, an attempt to keep you comfortable, to keep you from doing the hard work that will lead to the life you truly want. The next time an excuse pops into your mind, stop and question it. Ask yourself, is this excuse helping me move closer to my goal, or is it keeping me stuck where I am? Be brutally honest with yourself. If the answer is the latter, then you need to reject the excuse and push forward. Another powerful way to train your mind is to replace excuses with solutions. Instead of saying, "I don't have time," ask yourself, "How can I make time for this?" Instead of saying, "I'm too tired," ask yourself, "What can I do to get the energy I need?" Instead of saying, "It's not the right moment," ask yourself, "What can I do right now, no matter how small, to move forward?" When you start replacing excuses with solutions, you begin to change the way your brain works. You start thinking like a problem solver, instead of a procrastinator. But here's the hard truth. The more you make excuses, the harder it is to break free from them. Each time you allow an excuse to stop you, you're reinforcing the habit. It's like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But the good news is that the reverse is true as well. The more you reject excuses, the stronger your discipline becomes. The more you push yourself to act in the face of resistance, the more you create a pattern of success. And as you create that pattern, your mind begins to rewire itself. It begins to see excuses as obstacles that need to be overcome, rather than reasons to stop. One of the most effective ways to train your mind to reject excuses is to associate the act of making excuses with negative consequences. The next time you feel an excuse coming on, remind yourself of the cost of inaction. Think about how you'll feel if you don't follow through. Picture the regret, the frustration, and the sense of failure that comes with ignoring your responsibilities. Contrast that with the feeling of satisfaction and pride you'll experience when you push through and take action. When you start to see the cost of excuses and the reward of action clearly in your mind, it becomes easier to reject excuses and make progress. It's also important to recognize the patterns that lead to excuses. Often excuses arise when you feel overwhelmed, uncertain, or fearful. These feelings are natural, but they should never dictate your actions. When you feel like you can't do something, take a moment to ground yourself. Breathe deeply, regain your focus, and remind yourself of why you're doing this in the first place. Remind yourself of your goals, your dreams, and the person you're striving to become. This reminder will help you push past the fear and doubt and reject the excuse before it has a chance to take root. Another way to train your mind is by taking responsibility for your actions and your results. Excuses are often rooted in a desire to avoid responsibility. When you make excuses, You're essentially saying that something or someone else is to blame for your lack of progress. But the truth is, you are in control of your life. You are responsible for the decisions you make and the actions you take. If you want to succeed, you must take ownership of your life. Stop blaming external factors, stop blaming others, and stop blaming circumstances. When you take responsibility, you eliminate excuses from your vocabulary. Accountability is also a powerful tool when it comes to rejecting excuses. When you tell someone else about your goals and commitments, you're more likely to follow through. Why? Because you don't want to disappoint them. You don't want to be known as someone who makes excuses. Having someone to hold you accountable gives you an extra layer of motivation to push through when excuses arise. Share your goals with a friend, family member, or mentor. Let them help keep you on track and remind you to stay focused on what matters. Finally, embrace discomfort. Many excuses are rooted in the desire to avoid discomfort. Whether it's the discomfort of hard work, the discomfort of failure, or the discomfort of being out of your comfort zone, excuses often arise when things feel difficult. But success is born in discomfort. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Every time you reject an excuse and push through the discomfort, you become stronger, more capable, and more resilient. Embrace the discomfort. Know that it's a sign that you're on the right path. The more you face discomfort head on, the less power excuses will have over you. Rejecting excuses isn't easy, but it is essential if you want to achieve your goals and live a life of purpose. Every excuse you make is a missed opportunity. Every excuse is a step further from your potential. When you train your mind to reject excuses, you are training yourself to take full responsibility for your success. You are training yourself to be disciplined, focused, and resilient. And with that mindset, there is nothing you cannot accomplish. Number 10. Take full responsibility and stop blaming the world. Taking full responsibility for your life is one of the most empowering choices you can make. It's not easy, and it's not comfortable. It requires a level of honesty, accountability, and courage that few are willing to embrace. But when you decide to stop blaming the world for your circumstances and instead take ownership of your actions, thoughts, and decisions, something remarkable happens. You take control. You stop being a victim of life's unpredictability and start becoming the architect of your own future. The first step in taking full responsibility is understanding that you are the one in charge of your life. You are the one who decides how you respond to challenges, how you react to setbacks, and how you handle success. The circumstances around you may be difficult, the world may be unpredictable, and people may act in ways that frustrate you, but your response to those things is entirely within your control. It's not about what happens to you, but how you choose to handle it. When you stop blaming others, the world, or your situation for your lack of progress, you open yourself up to the possibility of change. It's easy to blame. It's easy to point fingers at others, to make excuses for why things aren't going the way you want. But in doing so, you give away your power. Blaming others makes you powerless. It makes you feel helpless, like you're at the mercy of someone or something else. But when you take responsibility for your life, you regain control. You realize that everything that happens to you is an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve. Every challenge you face is a chance to strengthen your character, deepen your resolve, and prove to yourself just how capable you are. The truth is, no one can determine your future except you. Not your boss, not your family, not your friends, and certainly not the circumstances you find yourself in. It's easy to let life's unpredictability derail you, but the successful person understands that it's how you respond to those unpredictable moments that will determine your success. If you want to change your life, you must change the way you think about responsibility. You must stop blaming external factors and accept that your choices, your decisions are what shape your future. One of the most powerful aspects of taking responsibility is understanding that it's not about being perfect. It's about taking action despite imperfection. Too often people get caught up in the idea that they need to have everything figured out before they take the next step. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect circumstances, or the perfect plan. But the truth is that the perfect time will never come. There will always be challenges, setbacks, and unexpected turns. What matters is how you handle them. Do you take responsibility for your actions and keep moving forward? or do you allow excuses and blame to keep you stuck? When you take full responsibility for your life, you stop looking for someone or something to blame. You stop waiting for things to change before you take action. Instead, you begin to take action regardless of the obstacles in front of you. You realize that the key to success lies in the choices you make every single day. It's in the small, seemingly insignificant decisions that you make in the moments of discomfort, challenge, and uncertainty. These decisions compound over time, and before you know it, they have created a life of success, growth, and achievement. A major part of taking responsibility is being accountable for your mistakes and failures. This is where a lot of people struggle. It's easy to take responsibility for your wins, but it's much harder to take responsibility for your losses. However, it's in our failures that we find the most valuable lessons. When you stop blaming others for your failures, you empower yourself to learn from them. You take the lesson rather than the defeat and use it to propel yourself forward. Every failure is a stepping stone to success. It's only a failure if you don't learn from it. So instead of blaming others for what went wrong, look inward and ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? This mindset shift allows you to grow and adapt, rather than remain stagnant. Taking responsibility also means taking control of your own personal growth. It means acknowledging that your success is not determined by external circumstances, but by your willingness to learn, grow, and adapt. It means seeking out opportunities for improvement and being proactive about your personal development. The most successful people are the ones who never stop learning. They take full responsibility for their own growth, and they never stop investing in themselves. But it's not just about taking responsibility for your own actions. It's also about being responsible for your impact on others. Your behavior, your words, your attitude, these all have an effect on the people around you. When you take full responsibility for how you show up in the world, you begin to realize that your actions can inspire, motivate, and uplift those around you. Conversely, when you fail to take responsibility for your actions, you can damage relationships, create conflict, and drag others down with you. The way you choose to show up in the world matters. It impacts not only your own life, but the lives of everyone you come into contact with. When you take full responsibility, you also take ownership of your energy. Every day you have a choice. You can choose to bring positivity, passion, and enthusiasm to the table, or you can choose to bring negativity, frustration, and resignation. The energy you bring to any situation will influence the outcome. If you choose to take full responsibility for your energy, you will find that you have more influence over your environment than you ever realized. People are drawn to positive energy. They are inspired by people who take responsibility for their actions and create solutions, not excuses. It's also important to recognize that taking responsibility doesn't mean doing everything alone. It doesn't mean you have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. It means that you understand that no matter what happens, you are responsible for how you respond. It means that when you ask for help, you do so from a place of strength, not weakness. You take ownership of your needs and your growth, and you actively seek the resources and support you need to succeed. So, if you want to take control of your life and stop blaming the world, start with one simple truth. You are responsible for your life. Every choice you make, every action you take, every thought you think, all of it is within your control. Stop waiting for the world to change. Stop blaming others for your struggles. Take full responsibility for your life, and watch how it transforms. You have the power to shape your future, one decision at a time. When you take responsibility, you stop being a victim, and you start becoming the victor.